Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is the first work video on the Vauxhall. There's the two owners, well, co-owners inside. Aiden's over there, that's Devin. Logan's having a bath. But today, we're gonna try to get this running. Hasn't run in 25 years, is the last time it was registered. Can't hear me. See if I can do that with one hand. Here's the engine. I finally managed to get the hood open. I had to work a little bit hard on it, and yeah. So we're gonna try and see if we can even get it started, or at least get it to spin over. So I'm gonna start by taking the plugs out and putting a little bit of oil in there, make sure it's all lubed up. We got all 4 plugs out, and they're actually looking pretty good. I did notice there's a little bit of moisture on some of these, but the engine turns over fine. I also took off the distributor cap. It's hard with one arm. It's a very tiny fan. But yeah, it turns over, and I got my friend in there, Aiden. I got him to hold his thumb in the plug holes, just see if there's compression, and each one sounds good. So that's all good. I also put some oil down the plug holes. And now we're trying around with the battery, seeing what electrical works. And do you want to turn on the headlights real quick? We have lights all around. I'm not sure about the markers. Those might also just be for turn signals, but you can turn them off. And yep. Oh. We had a horn. The horn just worked, so that's fine. And it might just be like a burnt up connection or something. But for now, it's looking pretty good. And I think the next step is, oh yeah, do you want to try and turn it over real quick? Just turn the key. Yeah, we need a little bit more power, so we're gonna go get another battery and see if it actually spins over for the starter. So we're waiting for the Datsun to start up so we can jump start, and in the meantime, we're gonna try and clean the points. Now I'm gonna try not to get my hand in the way of the camera. It's kind of hard. Actually, take that off. Oh, I need a smaller piece. And all I have to do is do that for a little bit, clean up all the corrosion on the points. Sorry if I get my hand in the way. Yeah, if I do that for a little bit, that should clean it up decent. Alright, looks a lot better now. Always want to make sure you take a rag and clean out the dust, otherwise it's still gonna bridge the gap there and it won't work correctly. And that looks pretty good. So that'll probably work. And now that we have the points clean, I'm going to clean up the rest of it. Same sandpaper. I want to make sure that all the corrosion's gone, or at least most of it, so we get a good connection. That should be good for that. Now getting into here is going to be a bit more of a problem. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to pull that plug wire off. Oh. With that, we'll get a new one. You want to make sure all these terminals are clean. or at least clean off that surface layer that's built up on them. There. And if I get the same right, there goes my sandpaper. And clean off these points, or terminals, or connectors, whatever you want to call them. And those are looking pretty good. And this centerpiece is fine. That looks like a piece of graphite, but there's no corrosion on that. So that should be good. All right, we got the Datsun hooked up. Battery system's all there. We even have a charger hooked up. Devin's in the car. Yep. And Devin, do you want to turn the key? Sure. Are you ready? Yep. All right. Guess I'll take a closer look at the starter. It is currently the day after the last clip. We ran out of time for the day, and I spent the rest of, well, the daylight getting out the starter because we did a little bit of searching. Well, I did. And there was power at the relay. The relay was clicking. You heard it in the last clip. But the starter wasn't doing anything. We had enough power. I know that. But some tells me there was either too much corrosion, which I had to take this out to get to this cable here anyways, or some inside of the starter is wrong, which I would not put it past it. It's been sitting for 25 years. I'm not sure if I said that already, but it has been. Yeah, and there might just be a bit too much corrosion in there. I don't know, but I'm going to try and put a little bit of power to it, and maybe it just had a bad connection somewhere, and maybe it'll start. So if I find anything, I'll show you. I took the starter all apart. I got the centerpiece, I don't know what you'd call it, out. And I just took it all apart, got that piece off, went through everything. And I didn't see anything wrong. Everything looked fine with what it was. Then again, I've never taken a starter apart, so it's also a good experience. But all I did was the little copper winding around here where it's like 4 little connectors. They're spring loaded. They just touch the, whatever you want to call that, the centerpiece, as it spins and it makes contact. I put that on the wire wheel for just a few seconds, just cleaned that up, made it shiny. And I put it back together and hooked some power up to it, and it started turning, so should be fixed. And next thing I have to do is tomorrow I'm just gonna have to put it back in the car, but it's a little too late to do that now. Pitch black outside, so be back tomorrow. It's 2 days later, and I got the starter back in. My friend helped me, and we also got the fuel pump cleaned out. Figured out how that worked, and apparently it was just full of dirt, so now it's actually see-through, which is cool. And I put the battery from the Dodge into this because I was using the battery from the Datsun, which holds about 2 volts before it gives out. So now, if I put you on the stand and I go turn the key, the engine spins over. So, getting that much closer to actually having this run. And I don't know if I pointed this out last time or a few clips ago, but that's the exhaust pipe right there. It's straight piped. These engines made 49 horsepower, so this one's making 50 now. It's got performance kit. Yeah. And now I guess I'm just gonna check for spark. I don't really like how this coil looks, given that there's something hit it like right here. So I think I'm just going to
put a little bit of gas down into it and see if it works first. I just put a decent amount of gas in, so I guess I'll just turn it over and see if anything happens. Nope. I'm willing to bet I don't have spark. I'm gonna go get a screwdriver and see if I can, well, see if I even have spark. Now I know you guys might not be able to see that, but I kind of lined it up so that I can see through the windshield, but you might be able to see that. No spark. Didn't look like there was any spark. I think that coil shot. Because the original one's right down there. That was replaced with another one. But I really don't like the fact that that has a chunk taken out the side of it. So I have another coil that was for the Datsun. I keep it in the Dodge here. Well, it's in the Dodge right here. That still works. I just put a new one on the Datsun, try and solve something. So I'm gonna swab that on and see if that fixed anything. Right, so I got the coil changed. I tested for spark with doing like a little point set. If you've watched any other videos of like Will It Runs or whatnot, when they have spark troubles, they'll use like a little screwdriver to pry the points open. I don't know if you can even see my hand. Yeah, you can. But like they'll use a screwdriver, pry open the points, and it'll have like a little bit of spark. So I cleaned the points again, changed coil, made sure everything was fine, and now putting a little bit of gas in the carb because I can't see any other reason why it wouldn't run now, so time to try. I also got the gas pedal freed up. I don't know if I said that was an issue or not, but it was. So. Oh. It's getting close. There's smoke filling the cab now. Oh. Might be out of gas, but it's trying. It is definitely trying. And the start, you might hear the starter's really weak. It's I don't know why. It's old, and I rebuilt the starter, so at least it works now. Might not work well, but it works. It's trying. Jesus. Alright, it definitely has carb issues. But I mean, you can hear it trying to run. That's already pretty good. I don't know if... I'm not really sure. I've never worked on a carb like this before. So, oh. Okay, well, I don't have an accelerator pump. Do I have a manual choke on this? Where would... I'm genuinely confused. I don't... The cable for the choke goes in through the firewall, but I don't see it come out of the firewall on that side. So I have no idea where that goes. But I am going to try again. Give it a little bit more gas. Maybe keep my foot inside the cab this time, not instead of right in front of the exhaust. It's getting cloudy over here. Yeah, you can see it come by. Yeah, I had my foot right in front of the exhaust, and when it popped, it hit my leg. It's doing something. It's definitely doing something. So I think tomorrow, you can't even see in there. Yeah. I think tomorrow, just because it's getting late now, and I'd like to go on a little ride in the Dodge. I think tomorrow I'm going to try and take the carb apart and finish getting this running. So, see you then. It's the next day, and I'm going to try and get the carburetor off and apart and hopefully clean it out and see if it'll actually be able to stay running for longer than a second, because I don't think it's pulling fuel out of the carb yet. I can put fuel in, but I don't think it's getting pulled out. So why is that like cracking? I don't know what that is. That's kind of looks like a gasket. I don't know. This carburetor is a little weird. That's a lot of stuff on the backside. Yeah, I'm gonna try and just take it off, and if I can't take it off, then I'm just gonna take off the top section and just see if I can clean it all out. So I'll be back when that's done. I got the carburetor all apart and cleaned up. Well, I got most of it apart. I didn't get the base bit. I know it's really dark in here. It's 7:30. It's getting pretty dark. But I got this little bowl piece. You can kind of see it here. I actually really like the design of this. The bowl contains all of the jets, accelerator pump. It contains everything, and which accelerator pump actually works in this. It sticks a little bit, but I mean, there's no gasket or anything for it, so it's perfect. And I also figured out where the choke comes out too. It's this switch right here, and it's seized up, so I'll fix it up later. But I put a little bit of gas in this. I have it hooked up to the battery charger, and I'm finally ready to try and start this. Finally ready to try and start it. Put my wrenches on the ground there. And now it's close. It's trying. So close. I think I might be out of gas actually. So try again. It's getting there. You can hear it trying to start. There. Trying to put it somewhere where you guys can actually see what I'm doing with the throttle. Anyway, starting again.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's trying. She's trying. It's getting smoky out here. That's it. Yeah, out of gas. But there we go. Sitting for 25 years. And all it took was a quick carburetor rebuild, which didn't even replace the gaskets. Redid a whole bunch of electrical connections. And here, let me show you around. All it took was a quick carb rebuild. I know the video quality is horrible. It's nighttime. Battery, which I may or may not have stole from the Dodge. Dodge is having its own issues, so battery can stay in here for now. But redid all of these connections. Went through the Datsun's old coil. Cleaned out the fuel bowl, or the sediment bowl down there. Rebuilt the starter. And just like that, engine fired up. It was run better at like just a little bit of throttle, not full blast, but regardless, the engine runs. So that is a pretty big accomplishment all by itself. Like I said, I'm sorry for the video content or quality. It's nighttime and it's dark, and I can barely see myself. But yeah, that's amazing. This car has been sitting in my driveway for, we got it last Thursday and it's Saturday now, so 10 days. Yeah, 10-ish days. And hadn't started in 25 years, and here it is able to run. So that's pretty good. Now I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one where I might be on that.